Yesterday, we saw, I'm sorry, not we saw, I saw, because how can I assume that you saw? So yesterday I saw that Arjuna collapsed, physically crying, emotionally overwhelmed, intellectually dejected. He wants to kick them, but can't kick. That despair. So all three levels, BMI collapsed. We may think the Lord is sympathizing with him. Lord lashes at Arjuna. Lord says, from where did you get this dirty dejection? Kutastva kashmalamidam. That too at this critical juncture. This dejection is anarya justam, un-Aryan-like, ignoble, dishonorable, unworthy of a spiritual seeker. Not only that, akirtikaram, disgraceful, shameful, and even hereafter, aswargyam, contrary to the attainment of heaven. You will not experience heavenly joys. Hey Arjuna, it is disgraceful, akirtikaram, because hell and heaven are later. In history, here itself, you will be recorded as, oh, once upon a time, there was a great hero called Arjuna. Parantapa and all. He was the greatest hero until war came. Thus, Lord is lashing Arjuna with words. Klaibyam asmagama partha. Yield not to unmanliness, to cowardliness. Na etatvayu upapadyate. It does not befit you. It is not suiting you. It is not nice in you. Give up this stupid, superstitious weakness of the heart. Shudram, Hridaya Daurbalyam, Tyaktva, giving up this cowardice. Hey Parantapa, Uttishta, arise. Hey Parantapa, oh vanquisher of enemies. Get up. Hey Parantapa. Arjuna feels that Krishna is not understanding. Like any teenager feels. You don't get it, do you? How the teenagers tell their parents must have heard this many times. You don't get it, do you, dad? You don't get it, do you, mom? Like that. So now Arjuna laments, how can I fight Bhishma and Drona, my grandsire and guru? I'm so dear, very dear to my grandsire. And I'm my teacher, guru's pet. So how can I fight my guru and grandsire in battle? Even with words, I cannot fight them. I can't even think of fighting them with words. How can I shoot them with arrows? Ishubhi katit, Ishubhihi katham pratiyotsyami. Because pujarho, they are worthy of worship. Hey Arisudana, Ari means enemy. Hey Krishna, you only destroyed your enemies. You didn't destroy your relations. See that in confusions and all, our memory goes out of town. Krishna killed his own uncle. Every uncle is afraid of nephew. Nobody, even now when a small child puts the thumb in the toe thumb, puts the toe in the mouth, the mother immediately removes it because she's scared about her brother's life. So Arjuna forgot Krishna killed his own uncle, Kamsa Mama. But Arjuna continues. He says, it would be better to eat the bread of beggary. I don't mind begging than killing these great masters. And if I kill these great masters, all my enjoyment in this world will be stained with their sacred blood. My throne will be standing on their skulls. And the rice I eat will be soaked in their sacred blood. So it's better to eat the bread of beggary than killing the great masters. And Arjuna confesses, I decay. Not that I decay. I decay means I don't know. No doubt he's decaying. I don't know which of the two is better for us. Whether we should conquer them or they should conquer us. They, the sons of the Dhritarashtra's, whom by killing them, we don't want to live. They are standing in front. So there is no win-win situation here. I'm in a dilemma. Slowly, Arjuna realizes his condition. Arjuna realizes that he is confused. confused and confounded. At least he realizes. So now he cries out. Now the verse starts, next verse. Verse number 7. Vijay, be ready. Now today Vijay will be chanting. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha.
Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha.
Prachhami tvam dharma sammudha-chetaha.
Pृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः
Yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme.
यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam.
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
So this is the very important verse. Karpanya dosha upahata swabhava. By karpanya dosha, my swabhava, my nature, upahata. So I am overcome by the faint-heartedness. I am lacking conviction. I don't have any conviction anymore. I can't believe that I am in this situation. When he thinks of his past, how he was so determined in the earlier days, he said, how did I fall into this faint-heartedness, lacking boldness or courage? My swabhava, my kshatriya nature is now overpowered by this faint-heartedness. So that's called krupanasya bhava. It's called karpanya. Means the state of being kripana. Kripana means a miser. So I am overpowered by miserliness. Kripana, miser. In English we call miser, but in Hindi there's a beautiful word which really sinks into your heart forever. And those who know it, immediately it pops in your mind. In Hindi, miser is called makhi chus. Some people know the word, but they may not know the meaning, how that word came. Since now, beginning of the class, I don't mind telling. In the end of the class, if I tell me it's a dinner time, you may not. So generally you forget whatever I tell. So this also, I don't think you can forget this, because only kachada we remember a lot. The makhi chus, makhi means fly, house fly. Makhi. Chus means one who sucks, the housefly. But Swamiji, what makhi chus and sucking a housefly got to do with miser? There was a miser. And the servant brought a hot cup of milk, glass of milk for the miser. And he kept it near the miser. He did not put any plate covering on that glass. Housefly was having a tour of the house and seeing the milk, took a dive into the hot milk. As soon as he finished, he started floating dead. And the miser was suddenly he saw, and then the servant also saw. So the servant said, sir, let me throw it away and then bring you another fresh cup of milk. The master looked at the servant. What do you think? This glass of milk, it is your 2 days or 2 months of labor. That paycheck I can cut. So, sir, what will you do, sir? Don't worry. So he took that from the cup, he took that fly in his hand. And then he saw some drops were dangling at the tip of the feet of the fly. So he started shaking it into the cup so that the drops fall into it. And still he saw some drops. What did he do? He sucked it. Even the servant couldn't tolerate it. Servant ran away from there. And then that's called makhi chus. miserliness. Meaning what? The miser can afford, but cannot spend. Gurudev used to give a beautiful example. One miser, he went out of town, and before he could return home, it was quite getting late. So almost 7 o'clock in the night. He was so hungry, and beautiful restaurants all around. And he in his pocket has $100 bill, new, crisp bill. He can even fan himself. So crisp $100 bill he has. Beautiful restaurants, great appetite, $100 bill. What will he do? He looks at the $100 bill and thinks, why break it? Anyway, if I go home, I can eat there. Why break the $100 bill? So he puts it back, drinks water in the fountain, and then goes home. This is called just as a miser has money, but cannot spend it. So too, we are all, somebody, what miser in money? So what has got to do here? We are all misers in thinking. We have the ability to think, yet we don't want to think. We think that if we start thinking, it'll all be swindled. We don't want to think. See that? The ability to think is there. Arjuna has the ability to protect dharma, righteousness, but he is not ready. He is not ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without. So it's called Kripana Phalahetava. A Kripana is a coolie, laboring for wages alone. Kripana also means ignorant. Therefore, Karpanya means ignorance. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the bulkiest of the Upanishads. Whenever you don't know from where the quote is, from where that verse is coming, you can just say, it is in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, go and refer. Nobody will go there and refer. There, the Rishi says, Yova etad aksharam gargi aviditva asmat lokat praiti sah kripanaha. Hey Gargi, the Rishi is telling his own wife, especially when the husband starts teaching his wife more, and that's how the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad became the bulkiest. She will not leave him until he can answer all her questions. Poor Rishi got caught up. So Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has come, the bulkiest. So, hey Gargi, he who departs from this world without knowing that imperishable reality, without knowing the truth, without knowing the reality, Sah Kripana, that person is a Kripana, a miser. And Karpanya can also mean pity. Pity means what? Here for Arjuna, pity is a good thing, but untimely pity, misplaced pity, foolish pity, that too, for wicked felons. But luckily, Arjuna realizes what? That I am confused. I am confused. Therefore, Arjuna confesses, Prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. So, dharma sammudha chetaha aham tvam prichhami. Aham tvam prichhami. I ask you, O Lord. I ask you because dharma sammudha chetaha aham asmi. Dharma vishaye, regarding dharma sammudha chetaha. My mind is confused about my duties. My mind is confused about my responsibilities. IDK, I don't know my dharma. Dharma is that which integrates our personality. To align our personality, we need to do dharma. But Arjuna says, I don't know my dharma now. I'm confused. Hey Krishna. In the world, if you think, there are three types of people. First type is, they do not even know that they are doing wrong or suffering. Ravana type. Everyone advises Ravana to return Mother Sita. Will he listen? He never listens. He has 10 heads and not even one head is working. In Tamil, we say, Ravananukku 10 thalai, aanalum pattalai. Ravana had 10 heads, still not enough, no brains. Our brain also, if you know, our brain has two sides, left and the right. And you might have heard, the right side, nothing left. And left side, nothing wrong, nothing right. Right side, nothing left. And left side, nothing right. This is the condition. So, right side, left side, brain. So, first type, like Ravana, never listen. Second type, they realize something is wrong and they seek help, like our Arjuna type. Third type is the most intelligent. They prepare in advance. Prevention, better than cure, like Lakshmana. He has all the Lakshanas, Lord Rama's brother. He prepares, he learns from Lord Rama before itself. So these are the three types. And second type, our Arjuna, now he's confessing. IDK, my dharma, I don't know my dharma. Kim kartavya, vimudha avastha. So, hey Krishna, may I borrow your intellect? You please tell me. Yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhi tatme. Yat shreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme. Nishchitam bruhi tanme. Bruhi. So, I ask you, Yat shreyasyat, which is better? I ask you. And nishchitam bruhi, please tell me decisively. Nishchitam bruhi, decisively tell me. Don't tell me this is good. That also is good. That is confusing. Many people, when you approach them for advice, they say, this is right. That also is right. Terrible. You are, should I marry or not? And you go for advice. They say, I think you should marry. And then you are very happy. And then, but I think if you want to be a brahmachari, then you think, I think you should be a brahmachari. Again, you are confused. And you go and ask, should I go to Vedanta course or not? Should I go to Sandipani or not? You're going to Sandipani? I think you should. But I think you should earn and marry. Now what? What are you supposed to do? Therefore, Arjuna says, Nishchitam bruhi. Decisively tell me. Decisively tell me what is good. Not just for me, but for the entire whole world, all around me. If it's only good for me, what's the use? Not just good for me and my party. Good for the whole world. Tell me the Shreyas. Shreyas means maximum happiness for maximum people, for maximum time. That's our motto, Chinmaya Mission motto. Maximum happiness for maximum people, for maximum time. Like good health is a Shreyas at the physical level. So all want good health. So that is Shreyas at the physical level. So, Manashanti, peace, peaceful mind. This is mental level. Shreyas at the mind level. Everybody wants peace. In one school, the teacher asked the students, would you want peace or war? Do you like peace or war? All the students unanimously said, peace, peace. They even showed their hands, peace, peace, peace. The teacher was surprised. And teacher said, I'm very thrilled to hear this. But why you want peace? The children, one of them said, sir, because war creates history and we have to memorize it. Therefore, we prefer peace. Therefore, we need not study. Mental peace. So, Mana Shanti or Mana Prasad. This is Shreyas at the mind level. Intellect level, clarity, crystal clear clarity, not confusion, right understanding, right thinking. This is Shreyas at the intellect level. And spiritual level, to experience the oneness, to feel the oneness with each other, being at ease with everyone, not disturbed or agitated by anyone. This is Shreyas at all levels, physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual. So, yet Shreyas Syat. What is Shreyas? Please tell me. Nishchitam Bruhi. Tell me decisively. Then he was thinking maybe Krishna may ask, why should I tell you? Therefore, immediately Arjuna plans. Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Aham te shishyah tvam prapannam mam shadi. Shishyasteham, I am your shishya. I am your disciple. That's why it is said in the Dhyana Shloka. Parthaya prati bodhitam. To Partha, the instructions were given. So, Shishyasteham, I am your disciple. Shadhimam, please teach me. Shadi, we may think of marriage, Swami. Shadi, marriage. Shadi means teach me, not marriage. But of course, marriage also teaches you, especially wife. Wife means wisdom, invited forever. That's what wife. So marriage also teaches, no doubt. So Arjuna says, Shishyasteham, I am your disciple. Shadhimam, please teach me. Tvam prapannam, I surrender to you. I take refuge in you. So till now, Arjuna was lecturing Krishna. Whole first chapter. Krishna said only one sentence, Pashya Partha. Behold, hey Partha. And Arjuna started lecturing Krishna. Now at least Arjuna is accepting. Shishyasteham, I am your disciple. Shadimam, please teach me. Means slowly, the Vishada of Arjuna turning to inquiry, learning. He clearly says, Yat nishchitam shreyah syat, tat me bruhi. So you must have heard the word Shreyas and Preyas in Kathopanishad. A person is always on the crossroads, a fork. Shreya, the path of good, and Preya, the path of pleasure. So path of good and path of pleasure. So Arjuna is asking, hey Krishna, what is Shreyas? Nishchitam bruhi. Take your time, but decide first and then tell me. Don't say this also good, that also good. Don't tell me. I want Nishchitam. Decisively tell me. Even though Arjuna is giving so elaborately, Krishna just looking without any expression on the face. So Arjuna gets confused. So, because the teacher has to be like that. The teacher cannot criticize a student. You idiot, what a stupid question you're asking. If the teacher says that, the student, because that in front of everybody, all other students, the teacher shouts at the student. When teacher shouts in front of all, you don't know where to sink. You start hope the earth opens and I can disappear. So teacher cannot criticize, because the student, out of fear, he will never ask in future. Even if a genuine question comes, he will swallow the question. Why ask? Why provoke this old man? So he will not ask. On the other hand, if you praise the student, what a beautiful question you asked. Nobody has asked me such an intelligent question. Suppose the teacher praises, then also danger. So that fellow thereafter will never listen to the teacher. Why? He's fabricating, manufacturing new questions. So teacher cannot criticize, teacher cannot praise. How will, imagine your face, not condemning, not praising. How should be your face? Look in the mirror and find out. See that? That is why our intelligent psychiatrists, all the psychiatrists, what do? They sit behind the head of the patient. The patient is on the couch. Behind the head, the psychiatrist sits. But in Vedanta class, teacher cannot sit behind the students. The teacher has to sit in front of the students. Therefore, the teacher sits like a wall, no expression on the face. So Krishna, when is Krishna sitting like a wall, Arjuna feels, your Lord did not understand. I don't know. I don't think he understands my condition. Therefore, Arjuna annotates. He adds explanatory notes. He himself gives a tika. This is Arjuna's condition. So the next verse, he adds. He gives explanatory notes. Next verse, number 8. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat.
Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat.
Yachokamuchoshanam indriyanam.
Yachokamucho shanamindriyanam.
Avapya bhuma vasapatnamruddham.
Avapya bhuma vasapatnamriddham.
Rajyam suranam apichadhipatyam.
Rajam suranam apichadipatyam.
So Arjuna annotates. He gives explanation. Nahi prapashyami. I do not see. What? I do not see any upayam. Nahi prapashyami upayam. I do not see any means or technique. Yet mama shokam apanudyad na prapashyami. I do not see any technique or upaya or means to remove my shoka, my sorrow. Nahi prapashyami mama apanudyad yet shokam. I do not see anything shreyas, the highest good. I do not see. I do not see anything that will remove my sorrow, dispel my dejection. So I do not see anything that can remove my sorrow. Therefore, hey Krishna, please instruct me, Shadhima. Okay, Krishna may say, why do you want me to remove your sorrow? Why don't you be comfortable with sorrow? Forbear. Mama shokam, my shokam, uchoshanam indriyana. My sorrow is burning my senses. My sorrow is drying up my senses. My sorrow is blasting my senses. All my faculties are drying up. This sorrow is benumbing my faculties. This sorrow is tormenting me. Arjuna keeps on adding. And Arjuna also adds, he says, don't tell me, hey Krishna, don't tell me, oh, you just fight and win over the Kauravas. Then you will gain the whole kingdom and your sorrow will be gone. Arjuna says, even if I win the whole thing, I don't think my sorrow will be gone. He says, avapya bhuma vasapatnamruddham rajyam. Even if I were to obtain on earth, avapya bhumau rajyam. Even if I were to obtain on earth the rajyam, the kingdom, whole kingdom. What is the use of whole kingdom, whole world even? Generally, the world is full of poverty, diseases, terrorists, enemies. And I get that whole world. What's the use? I can't even sleep. 24/7, fear and anxiety. This will be a condition. Then Krishna says, no. You may say, no, bhumau asapatnam rajyam. Means, asapatnam means unrivaled kingdom. No enemies. You are the sole ruler. No rivals. Okay, I may be the sole ruler, no rivals, but is all poverty. No. Ruddham rajyam, meaning prosperous kingdom. Not only no rivals, rich and prosperous country. So, but Arjuna adds, even if I were to obtain on earth unrivaled kingdom and prosperous kingdom, still I do not see anything that will remove my sorrow. Yet mama shokam apanudyat na prapashyami. I do not see anything that will remove or dispel my dejection. Maybe Krishna, you will be given, I can even arrange heavenly lordship. He adds, Arjuna adds, Suranam api cha adhipatyam. Even if I get the adhipatyam of Suraloka, heavenly Amaravati, he's the son of Arjuna. Indra's son is Arjuna. So even the sovereignty, the mastery or overlordship of heavens, even if I obtain lordship over the denizens of the heaven, I do not see anything that will remove my sorrow. I don't think anything can dispel my dejection. So not even this whole world, unrivaled, prosperous world, or even the lordship in the heavens, I don't think my dejection will be gone. Therefore, hey Krishna, here or hereafter, I do not see anything that will remove my sorrow. Hey Krishna, therefore, please, I beg you, please teach me. Krishna has been silently waiting. Why silently waiting? Because he knows that he has to give a long lecture of 16 chapters. So Krishna was silently waiting. I know I prepared this for the long lecture. So Krishna is waiting because long lecture he has to give. In this gap, Sanjaya enters. See the beauty how whenever there is a gap in between, Sanjaya enters. Like in the cricket and all, the running commentary, the batsman is out and is going to the pavilion and the new batsman has not yet come. In between, the commentator comes. So beautifully, maybe the commentators have learned from Sanjaya. So in this gap, the Sanjaya enters and explains the scene to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra means immediately when it says Sanjaya means he has gone, you have gone, taken, you are lifted, you are energized into the palace. Cool comforts of the palace. With the, the fan, the fragrant fan, that couscous, I think. So fragrant air is coming. Imagine fragrance fan. So you're transported to the palace, cool chambers, in Dhritarashtra's palace. There I had told yesterday, remember Dhritarashtra's psychological warfare. Biological warfare is nothing when compared to Dhritarashtra's psychological warfare. Dhritarashtra sends Sanjaya to Arjuna. He tells Sanjaya, hey Sanjaya, give this message exclusively to Arjuna. See that nobody is around, especially Krishna. So Dhritarashtra knew that only Arjuna is the dangerous guy. All his other brothers are easy to deal. Dharmaputra, a sadhu, very sattvic. So very easy. Bhima, angry, no doubt. He will break some trees and just everything. He may break things. Then he'll cool down. Then eat masala dosha and sleep. Bhima also he knows. What about Nakula? Nakula is a bookworm. He is into books, animal husbandry. He is into animal husbandry books. Sahadeva also bookish, into astrology and astronomy. So all the other brothers are very easy to deal. But Arjuna is the most dangerous guy. If he is discouraged, then no war. Thus, Dhritarashtra plans through Sanjaya to plant the psychological bomb in Arjuna's mind. When Arjuna hears what Sanjaya says, because Dhritarashtra instructs, tell Arjuna, hey Arjuna, you know my sons, they are wicked. They will never listen to me. But you are very dear to me, the dearest among all your brothers. You are so talented. Do you want this war? And do you know in the war, you have to kill your grandsire Bhishma, and you have to kill your guru Drona. Do you want to kill your grandsire who loved you so much? Do you want to kill your guru who taught you how to wield your bow and arrow? Do you want to kill them for the sake of kingdom? Can't you at least give up? Go to Himalayas, have peace. Thus, he has planted. Sanjaya knew this. This blind king is dangerously planting this psychic bomb because Sanjaya had sympathies with the Pandavas. But he consoled himself because he has to convey the message. Sanjaya knew the Lord will take care. That's why now in the next verse, you can see the glorious description Sanjaya gives. So let us see the next verse. Verse number 9. It's a beautiful verse. When you see the description Sanjaya gives, you can start thinking, what a display of words, what significance deep in each word. So let us chant verse 9. Sanjaya Uvacha
Sanjaya Uvacha
Evam Uktva Hrishikesham
Eva Mukta Hrishikesham
Gurudakshina Parantapaha
Gurudakshina Parantapaha
Nayotsya iti Govindam
Nayotsya iti Govindam
Uktva Tushnim Babhuvaha.
Uktva Tushnim Bhabhuvaha.
Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya said, Evam Uktva Hrishikesham. Evam Uktva, Arjuna having spoken thus. To whom? Hrishikesham. See the word Sanjaya chooses. Hrishikesham. Hrishikesha, very significant. Two meanings are there. One's face meaning is Hrish Kesha. Hriswa means short. Kesha, hair, short hair. But Krishna had long, luxurious hair. Keshava is called. But wartime. So Krishna enfolds his hair. You know, all girls know that. One day they make it short, next day it's all long. You get confused. They learned from Krishna the technique. Krish, Kesha, Kriswa, short hair. That is not that also is okay because a man of action. But the archaic Sanskrit is Rishikanam Isha. Rishika means sense organs. Lord of the senses. Lord of the senses means the BMI, means Paramatma. So Sanjaya is hinting. There the Lord himself is there. The Lord of the senses. Rishikesha, the enlivener of the senses. That's why when a person dies and all, even though his eyes are, when the eyes are open, and the person died, but the eyes are open, and you think that person is seeing. So the close relations, they come, and what do? They close the eyes. Why? Even though the eyes are open, the dead person sees nothing. So the Lord of the senses, the enlivener of the senses, when a reflection of that light of consciousness playing through the BMI, then only the BMI has the body has the vibrancy and the mind intellect has the sentiency. Because body is inert and mind intellect is insentient. But because of the presence of the divine, the enlivener of the senses, Rishikanam Isha, the Lord of the senses. In his presence alone, the sense organs perceive. The organs of actions, they perform. The mind feels. The intellect has the ability to think. So now and then you should, whenever you're a little bit free and you're very quiet, alert, vigilant, immediately start turning the attention to the Paramatma. the self. How? That because of which my eyes are seeing. So when you're looking at something, but you're not seeing that thing, but your attention is that because of which my eyes are seeing. You're not seeing the object. You're seeing that because of which the eyes are able to see. So too with all senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. So too with the mind. You're not feeling an emotion. You're feeling that because of which my mind has the ability to feel. So too the intellect. That because of which my intellect is able to think. This is the most sacred contemplation. That which enlivens the senses, the mind, the intellect. Especially intellect. You can imagine your intellect like a flashlight. The flashlight has a beam of light. With that beam of light, you can illuminate anything in a dark room. But there is one thing which that beam of light cannot illuminate. Our intellect is like a flashlight. It can illumine anything. Because intellect also has a beam of intelligence. With that beam of intelligence, you can illumine any objective science. Anthropology, biology, cardiology, dermatology, epistemology, footology, maybe it's there, podiatrist. All logies, my beam of intelligence can illumine. But there is one thing this beam of intelligence cannot illumine. Like there is one thing the beam of light of the flashlight cannot illumine. What is that? When you are focusing the beam of light of the flashlight, a bright, brilliant beam of light. So you get a doubt. What a brilliant beam of light. What is the source of this beam of light? What battery is it? What battery is bringing this brilliant beam? So you want to see the battery with that in that beam of light. So you open the bottom of the flashlight and bring out the battery to see in the beam of light. There is no beam of light. Just as the beam of light of the flashlight cannot illumine its source, the battery, so too our intellect, just like the flashlight, as the beam of intelligence. This beam of intelligence can illumine anything, all the logies, anthropology to zoology. But if you get a doubt, what a brilliant beam of intelligence. What is the source of this beam of intelligence? When such a doubt comes, this beam of intelligence cannot illumine. But this thought, what thought? What a brilliant beam of intelligence. Because you are not using the beam of intelligence to illumine some objective science. You are focusing your attention on the very beam of intelligence and seeking, searching the source of this beam of intelligence. This seeking and searching is called contemplation. Rest happens. So Sanjay is describing, oh blind king, Arjuna don't think he will despair. He has surrendered to the Lord of the senses. He is in the safest hands. So, evamuktva Hrishikesham. So Arjuna, having thus spoken to Hrishikesha, the Lord of senses, who is Arjuna's description he gives, Gurudakshina Parantapa, an adjective to Arjuna also. He uses Hrishikesha for the Lord. And for Arjuna, the man of action, Gurudakshina. Gurudakshina also has two meanings. Guda means all ball, means the hair made into balls. Kesha, hair, means Arjuna has tied up his hair. like a Sardar. Means like tightening the belt, man of action. That is one meaning. But another meaning, Gudaka Isha, means master of sleep. Master of, don't imagine master of sleep means he'll sleep, keep on sleeping. That is not master of sleep. Master of sleep, that also master of sleep means does not sleep at all. No, that's not the meaning. Master of sleep means till he completes his task, whatever work he is given, he will not sleep. Meaning alert and vigilant till he completes his duty. Till he fulfills his responsibility, he will not sleep. That is called Gudakesha. And Parantapa is the destroyer of enemies. The enemies feel scorched in the presence of Arjuna. So Parantapa. So Evam Uktva Rishikesham Gudakesha Parantapaha Na yotsye iti govindam uktva. Na yotsya iti. So when you break it, na yotsye means I shall not fight. Arjuna is saying, iti govindam uktva, to Govind, to that Lord who is the protector of the cows. You know, cows are the senses. So na yotsye iti uktva. I will not fight. I shall not fight. Now, when we may think, but Arjuna just now said, Shishyasteham, Shadimam, I am your Shishya, I am your disciple, I submit to your discipline. One who submits to discipline is called disciple. But here, what is he saying? Na yotsye, I shall not fight. Oh Lord, oh Krishna, oh Guru, teach me. But he said, I will not fight. I shall not fight. It's like our type. Arjuna is like our type. We say, Guru, Guru, Japna, and Baki sab apna. This is very nice. I like that word very much. Guru, Guru, Japna, Baki sab apna. Is Arjuna that type? It may appear, but it's not so. He says, I shall not fight, meaning until you convince me that this is Shreyas. Until you convince me, I shall not fight. Means he wants clarification. That's why the learning has started. See, whenever your shoka takes you, your sorrow takes you to inquiry, understand that shoka is worthy, worth going through. That's a wonderful sorrow. That experience is a teaching experience, a learning experience, a learning curve. So experience teaches a lot. Experience is the best teacher. And experience is teaching everyone. But very few learn from their experience. Here Krishna, Arjuna has that opportunity. And Arjuna is making use of the opportunity. So na yotsye iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha. Having spoken this to Govinda, Arjuna tushnim babhuvaha means Arjuna became silent. Means this tushni avastha is very peculiar. Arjuna's body is awake. Body awake means bodily is awake because he's blabbering. So he is awake, but his mind and intellect is benumbed. That's called tushni avastha. So thus Arjuna became silent. Until you convince me, I shall not fight. So tushni avastha. You also must have experienced the tushni avastha many times. Whole family shouts at you, get up, wake up, wake up. Already 7 o'clock, wake up. And you say, and then you turn the other side. Finally, the wife comes and pulls you out, lifts you up and makes you sit on the bed. Now, what do you do? You're sitting on the bed. Have you physically, you are sitting on the bed, woken up, but mind and intellect, you're still sitting on the bed, you sleep. Again, she shouts at you, get up, go to the brush your teeth. So you slowly crawl into the bathroom and take the brush and put the toothpaste and then put the brush in the mouth. And then what? Leaning on the wall, again sleeping there. I don't hear your brushing. Again, you start brushing. This is called, you woke up, body has woken up, but mind, intellect has not woken up yet. This is called Tushni Avastha. So, this is, see the description Arjuna, Sanjaya is giving. Rishikesham, Lord of the senses. Gurudakshina, the master of sleep, means he will fulfill his duties. Man of action. And Rishikesha, Lord of senses. Yet, you think the blind king will notice it? Physically blind. Not only physically blind, he is mentally blind, intellectually blind. What does he do? What the old blind king? He takes another Kashmiri grape. Because he's in the palace. So Kashmiri grape he takes and puts another grape in his mouth. That is what Sanjaya is describing. That is Sanjaya's condition. So with this, so the description mainly to make us realize what glorious Sanjaya's attitude is. No wonder he has that vision, the blessings of the vision to see what is happening in the minds of all. Sanjaya, Samyak Jayati. So, next verse. So beautiful is next verse. Let us see. Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha.
Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha
Prahasanniva Bharata.
Prahasanniva Bharata
Senayorubhayor madhye.
Senayorubhayor madhye
Vishidantamidam vachaha.
Vishidantamidam vachaha.
Sanjaya says, Tam uvacha Hrishikeshaha. Tam uvacha. Tam means here, Tam Arjunam. Tam to him. To him means to Arjuna. Hrishikeshaha uvacha. Because Lord has not started yet. So Sanjaya is covering. Sanjaya is giving the gap, filling the gap in between. So Tam uvacha. Tam means to him. To him means to Arjuna. Hrishikeshaha uvacha. Hrishikesha, the Lord of the senses, uvacha. Prahasanniva. Prahasanniva means as though smiling. As though smiling means mind is smiling. Mr. Sanjay, mind is smiling how? You try. When your mind is very cheerful, it can be seen on the face. Even though you're not smiling. If your mind is smiling, it can be recognized. Your children will know it. You mentally smile and ask your child, am I smiling? But your face is never smiling. So they may not. So, prahasanniva, as though, iva, prahasan, iva. Iva means as though smiling, as though the mind is smiling. Prahasanniva, Bharata. Bharata means, hey Bharata. Hey Bharata means, oh descendant of Bharata. Here, Sanjaya is addressing Dhritarashtra, the blind king, as Bharata. Because Dhritarashtra is the descendant of the glorious king Bharata. Trying to remind him, your glorious ancestor Bharata was so, what did he do? Bharata had 10 sons. Good sons. But the king felt, my sons are good, but not good enough to be the king. Because the best should be the king. So Bharata does not select his own sons who are good. He does not select them. He selects the best citizen, adopts him and makes him the king. Bharata's own mother, Shakuntala, she gets very angry. She tells, you have denied the rights of your sons. What father are you? What a father are you? You're denying the rights of your own sons. They are good sons. And you're selecting a citizen to be the king? The Bharata says, Mom, I'm sorry, but please tell me, you mean to say my citizens are not my sons? Now what will mother say? That That is called a king. Every citizen is his child. That was Bharata. Now coming down, see that Dhritarashtra, the blind king. This blind king, he knows his sons are bad. Not bad, they're worst. He knows. And his own brother's children, he knows that they are dharmic. They follow dharma. He knows. But he doesn't want to. Still, he wants only his sons who are adharmic. He wants them to be the king. He wants Duryodhana to be the king, not Yudhishthira, Dharmaputra. This is the Sanjaya is pricking, poking words. Hey, Bharata, wake up to the glory of your ancestors. You mean this is the blind king? Blind with attachment. What can he do? So, so Sanjaya says, Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha Prahasanniva, He Bharata, He Dhritarashtra, Senayoho Ubhayoho Madhye. Senayoho Ubhayoho. Ubayoho Senayoho Madhye means in the midst of the two armies. In the midst of the two armies, Vishidantam. Who is Vishidantam here? Arjunam. To Arjuna who was despondent, sorrowful. Idam vachaha Rishikeshaha. Vishi Senayoho Ubayoho Mati. In the midst of the battle means there itself. See, when the cure must be given where you are having trouble. So Krishna is like the MASH, Mobile American Surgical Hospital. There itself Krishna gives the treatment. Where the problem is, there the solution. So Senayoho Ubayoho Madhye, in the midst of the two armies, Vishidantam Arjunam, Idam Vachaha Hrishikesha. So Idam Vachaha Uvacha. So Hrishikesha Idam Vacha. The Lord of the senses spoke these words. So Sanjaya says, Hey Bharata, Hey Dhritarashtra, the Lord of the senses, Hrishikesha, as though smiling, mind is smiling, Prahasanniva, spoke these words. To whom? To Arjuna, who is Vishidantam, who was sorrowful. Senayoho Ubayoho Madhye, in the midst of the two armies. So the Lord of the senses, as though smiling, spoke these words to Arjuna, who was mourning, who was sorrowful in the midst of the two armies. Now focus on Hrishikesha Prahasanniva. The Lord of the senses, as though smiling. As though smiling means not the laughing and all, not ridiculing, as though smiling, and spoke these words. So as though smiling, and people have read many commentaries, that smile, bewitching smile. Arjuna is sorrowful, suffering, and Lord smiling. See that? Well, Arjuna earlier he said, Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat. Arjuna says, Nahi prapashyami upayam. I don't see any upaya, any technique. I don't see any means to remove my sorrow. Lord is smiling because aham prapashyami. Hey Arjuna, you are not nahi prapashyami, you are saying, but aham prapashyami. I see the remedy. I see aham prapashyami upayam. I see the upaya. The Guru is the one, when you approach the Guru, he removes your fear. Our Gurudev was like that. When you go to Gurudev with some problem or you're terror-stricken, some problem is chasing you, you're so worried and anxious. When you go to Gurudev, you could have experienced. He makes you fearless, courageous. That is the glory of Guru. In the Vivek Churamani, Ma Bhaishta Vidvan, Tavanasti Apaya, Samsara Sindhum Tarane, Asti Upaya. The Vivek Churamani Guru also says, Hey Vidwan, he addresses the student as Vidwan, means, oh, intelligent student. Mahabhaishta, fear not. Don't fear. Samsara Sindhu Tarane, to cross this realm of change, to cross this realm of sorrow. Asti Upaya. There is a means, and I know the means. Therefore, the smile, bewitching smile. Lord smiles because aham prapashyami upayam. You might have experienced if you had an old father, 93 years old, 93 running. That's how they say. 92 completed, but they will not say 92. 93 running. Because when you get older, you start increasing your age. Up to 40, you start decreasing your age. After 40, you start increasing your age. Just to feel good. So in 92 years, but he said 93 running. Running and all, where who sees it? They say. So my old father, 93 running, very sick. All medicines tried. Allopathy tried. Homeopathy tried. Naturopathy tried. No other pati now turned to Venkatachalapati. No other pati available. So Venkatachalapati, you turn to Venkatachalapati and then you call the doctor. Doctor asks various questions. Did he eat? No, doctor, he did not eat anything. Did he throw up? No, doctor, nothing inside to throw up. Only intestines will come out if he throws up. Now, what will the doctor? Okay, I'm coming. In India, the doctors come to your home itself. So, okay, I will come, says the doctor. And the doctor comes there. And what does he do when he comes inside? He looks at it has all go out. And only you are there, one person. So he removes the blanket one by one. There are 5, 6 blankets he removes. And inside a bony skeleton like my father. So he looks at the thin body. And then what? Doctors, they have the privilege. They can pull anything that can be pulled out. And they can push anything that can be pushed. That is the doctor's privilege. So the doctor starts pulling, show the tongue, and then even pulls it also. And then pushes this, pushes that, pulls this, pulls that. And then again, he covers everything back. And then asks water to wash my hands. You get my father is so sacred and you think it's a dirty one, you want to wash your hands, but you dare not say. So he washes the hands. And then you go to the doctor, very anxiously you ask, doctor, how's my father? How is he doing? Doctor smiles. And you get a shock. He says, it's nothing. I was also worried in the beginning, but after I came and I checked and all, I know it's only ordinary local malaria. And I have the medicine. The doctor smiles because he knows the remedy and he has the medicine. Therefore, the smile. So to Sri Krishna is smiling because he knew the remedy. Therefore, smiles. Those who are running study group, this is very nicely you can experience. In the study groups, you might have observed when one of the study group member asks a question. When somebody asks a question in the group, you look at the face of the study group leader. And at that time, the study group leader's face will be smiling. Why? He knows the answer. Isn't it? When you know the answer to the question of your study group member, you start smiling. Why? You know the answer. That Lord Krishna is smiling because he knows the answer. This is the glory. So the smile is so bewitching. It can give volumes. Or you can say, Krishna is smiling because Arjuna said, what? Shishyasteham. And then he say, I will not fight. Krishna saying, what are you? You say, Shishya, I will do whatever you say. But then you say, I shall not fight. Like you go to the doctor and say, doctor, I came to you, I give all the problems to you. But the only thing is, don't ask me to take medicine. I will not take any medicine. What will the doctor do? The doctor, whatever you tell, I will listen. But I will not take any medicines. What can you say? So it looks like that. So that's a Krishna is smiling. So the smile can be various ways you can interpret. But main I feel is Krishna is smiling to cheer him in. Don't worry, you will come out. And Krishna is waiting. He has deluded. The Lord only deludes everyone. And Lord only brings out of the delusion. He has deluded Arjuna so that we all can have this glorious Gita knowledge. If Arjuna was not deluded, What would have happened if you know Gita? So thank God Arjuna was deluded. Thank God he was dejected. Thank God he surrenders to Krishna. Thank God he asked Krishna, hey Krishna, Shadimam Tuam Prapannam. Please instruct me. Please teach me. See that? So Krishna smiles. Up to here, so beautiful. Now the pure philosophy starts. The highest philosophy. Arjuna may not understand, but Krishna gives. Swamiji, highest philosophy? Yes. At this juncture, yes. Imagine you are at the railway station. Crowded railway. In India, you know the railway station, that in the olden days. And you have the ticket. In India, even if you have the ticket, until you sit on your seat or settled, till then you can't trust the ticket. You have the ticket. And unfortunately, you're traveling with your nagging wife. Not only nagging wife, but also 3 children, 3 Rakshasas running all over the platform. And you are worried about your luggage and you are counting your 23 pieces. You have counted 23 times your 23 pieces of luggage. At the time your children are running, hey, calling the children, and the wife nagging at you. You are useless. Why did you choose this train? I told you, let's go by flight. And you wanted the train, cheap goat. Oh, she started her Sahasranama Archana. And you don't know what to do. And you are worried about the luggage. You are counting the luggage again. 2, 4, 6, 10, 20, 23. Like that, every time, now and then, different modes you are counting. And shouting at the children, come and sit. If you don't come and sit now, I will leave you here. Children don't care. They run about. Now imagine this scene. You are so worried. At this time, Brahmachari comes. Brahmachari comes and says, wants to teach Vedanta to you. See the railway station. At this time, the Brahmachari comes and says and teaches Vedanta. And he says, Shanaihi, Shanaihi, Uparamait, Buddhya, Dhritigruhitaya, Atma Samstam Manakritva, Nakinchidapi Chintayet. Imagine. You are so worried. So, will you be able to understand? He said, Shanai, Shanai, slowly, slowly, withdraw your mind from everything. And Atma Samstam Manakritva, having placed the attention of your mind unto the self. Na kinchidapi chintayet. What will you understand? You may even feel like beating up the brahmachari. But Krishna wants to give the highest philosophy. Because he knows this dejection of Arjuna. What to do? The dejection is there. So you can't, how to bring him out of the dejection. So because Arjuna in this dejection condition, imagine if your brother-in-law decides to stay with you. He prefers and decides to stay with you. Now he's your brother-in-law. You can't say no to him. If you say no to your brother-in-law, in Hindi means what? Sala. And he is the only Sala of your only wife. You can't say anything to him. For peace at home, you try to tolerate. Biting your teeth, you try to tolerate. You feel dejected. But what to do? You have to tolerate. This is the condition. Arjuna, even Krishna, they have brother-in-law relationship. So in Hindi, if we speak, we have to say those words. So Krishna, he feels that lucky I have been wanting to give Arjuna the knowledge of the divine. Krishna and Arjuna have been together for a long, long, long time. Many years they lived together. But Krishna never got the opportunity to teach self-knowledge. And Arjuna also, he was more interested in the Dhanurvidya. That even Nartana Vidya. He was interested in dance and arts of warfare, all the warfare and all those he was interested, but never interested in self-knowledge. So here the opportunity has come. The Yogeshwara Guru, Jagat Guru Krishna. So to the Jagat Guru Krishna, Arjuna surrenders. And Lord Krishna, Prahasanniva idam vachaha. So what Lord start from here starts the teachings of Lord Krishna, the 11th verse onwards. So Shankara writes commentary from here alone, not means he gives a brief, he gives the entire summary and starts his commentary from this verse. So let us chant this verse. Verse 11. It's a beautiful verse and worth remembering. It has a lot of implications. Let us start. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Ashocyan Anvashocastvam.
Ashocyan Anvashocastvam.
Prajnavadamscha bhashase.
Prajnavadamscha bhashase.
Gata sunagata sumscha.
Gata sunagata sumscha.
Nanushocanti panditaha.
Nanushocanti panditaha.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Ashocyan Anvashocastvam.
Ashocyan Anvashocastvam.
Prajnavadamscha bhashase.
Prajnavadamscha bhashase.
Gata sunagata sumscha.
Gata sunagata sumscha.
Nanushocanti panditaha.
Nanushocanti panditaha.
It's a beautiful verse. So Ashocyan Anvashocastvam. See, Gita starts, the knowledge of Krishna, the teaching of Krishna starts with Ashocha. Ashocyan. So Ashocha. And Krishna's teaching ends also in the end. Ma Shucha. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyaha Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. Starts with Ashocha, ends with Ma Shucha. Meaning, the teaching, the message of the Gita is Ma Shucha. Don't grieve. That's why Gita also means Tyaga. Tyagi. You become Tyagi. Means when you Tyagat Shanti. All our sorrows, all our grief is because of attachment. Clinging attachment. Therefore we suffer. And when you start reading Gita, see the very Gita, so there are 2 syllables. Gita, Gi. 5 times if you say these 2 syllables. Gita, Gi. Gita, Gi. Gita, Gi. You become Tyagi. So when the selfishness, egocentric, ego and selfish desires, egocentric desires, you become a Tyagi of them. Then what? Sukham. Tyagat Shanti. But what to renounce? Your selfish desires. It is the selfish desires that create sorrow. So now Krishna is addressing Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, Ashocyan Anvashocastvam. You are grieving for those who should not be grieved. Bhishma and Drona, you are grieving for Bhishma and Drona. They are great souls. So if you see from their individual standpoint, they are so great, no sorrow for them, because they will, even when they cast away this, because they have gone to such a level now, they are no more identified with their body. They are great souls. So when they leave the body, where will they go? And that too, their body has become so old, like an old coat. So you will be giving them a great relief by removing the old coat. And they prefer that. And Bhishma himself said, Bhishma himself gives the technique how to put him flat on the bed of arrows, because he has the Ichha Mrityu. He cannot die. So he tells them how to make me retire. Bhishma himself gives the secret. So they are wanting you, they want to get out of that body in your hands. So don't grieve for Bhishma and Drona. They are great souls. Here also they are great. Hereafter they'll be great. Any standpoint, and if you see they are going to die, nobody dies. If you say death means everybody dies, but no one dies. Everybody dies means body dies, body of everyone. So everybody dies. But if you look at the person, no one dies. And you're grieving. Did you see anybody seeing the sun setting, sun sinking into the ocean? Did you see, or sinking into a lake? Did you see anybody crying? Ayo, sun is dying, sun is dying. If you hear somebody, sun is dying, so you think his son is SON dying. You don't know where is your son? No, I'm talking about Surya. That SUN is dying, is sinking. Now what will you tell him? This man is crying for the sunset. So you try to, at that time you will smile. Prahasanneva. Why? You say, don't worry. Tomorrow morning you come back, you will see the sun rising. If you are seeing the sun setting, tomorrow morning you will see the sun rising. Imagine. So sun is setting. Nobody cries when the sun is setting. And when sun rises, nobody celebrates the birthday. Oh, sun is born. Sun is born. Think. So if the sun is setting, the sun has to rise. No choice. If the sun is rising, it must set. This is the law. Sun rises, it must set. Sun sets, it must rise. There's no choice here. But if you ask a deeper question, does the sun really rise? Does the sun really set? It is the earth rotation. When the earth is rotating, you see the illusion of the rising of the sun, the birth of the sun, and the death of the sun. The rotation of the earth gives that illusion, isn't it? So too, I, the self, I, the pure consciousness, the divine consciousness, Chinmaya, never born, never dies. Om Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Surupaya Namaha. Nitya, eternal. Nitya Shuddha, eternally pure, purity itself. Buddha, Nitya Buddha, Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Buddha, eternally awakened. Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Buddha, Nitya Mukta. Nitya Mukta, ever free, never bound, never got in the clutches of the BMI. Nitya Mukta. So Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa. That is pure consciousness. Never born, never dies. But we identify with the body. When the body is born, we assume I am born. And when the body dies, we think the consciousness is dying. What a gross misunderstanding. So this, because when Arjuna had said, Dharma Sammuda Cheta, I don't know what is my duty. I don't know what's my responsibilities. I don't know my duty. What's my duty? I'm confused. This confusion of duty can come only when there is an identity error. I misplace my identity. When I say my duty is based on I. When I'm confused regarding I, then all my confusion starts. See that? If you really start thinking, I as I, no one has suffered. I as I, no sorrow to anyone. I as I, the pure consciousness. No sorrow. But I as so and so. If you start thinking sorrow, so who is having sorrow? Me, Swamiji. Me who? My children never listen to me and all. They are so horrible children. Rakshasas they are. I as what? I as parent. So all your sorrows are what? I as a parent. And other person, Swamiji, my children are so good. No sorrow as a parent. Then what is your sorrow? Ayo, Swamiji, my spouse. So sorrow as spouse. Sorrow as a parent or sorrow as a spouse. Other person, Swamiji, my wife is the best. My husband is the best. Then what's your sorrow? I as boss or das. Swamiji, my boss is a pit bull, bulldog. Yeah. So sorrow as professional. So all sorrows are here, not I as I. So Krishna is trying to lift Arjuna. So further, this verse is very, very important. We will see more regarding this verse tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om. Everyone, please stay back for Gurudev's Aarti after this brief presentation.
Please stay for Aarti. It's only 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Aarti is only for 2 minutes and 34 seconds. So enjoy the Aarti by different families are performing the Aarti. You can enjoy the family doing it. And then you can, if you recognize the family, call them and congratulate them.
महाराज की।
Please do Namaskar to the Aarti.